If they don't moderate and monitor the content, we lose total control.
It's almost like she said the quiet part out loud. Yeah. We lose total control. Hillary Clinton, let's just watch what she said this weekend. I don't know if you know this, free speech. The Clintons, not good bedfellows.
We should be, in my view, repealing something called Section 230, which gave platforms on the internet immunity because they were thought to be just pass-throughs, that they shouldn't be judged for the content that is posted. But we now know that that was an overly simple view, that if the platforms, whether it's Facebook or Twitter X or Instagram or TikTok, whatever they are, if they don't moderate and monitor the content, we lose total control.
It's almost like she said the quiet part out loud. Yeah. We lose total control. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, which also will bring us to the Butler, Pennsylvania rally. Elon Musk is not taking the easiest path. Elon Musk just needs to step. If you just wanted to live a happy life, considering that he actually made the single largest tax payment, I believe, ever.
By a private citizen in the history of the Earth.
In the history of Earth. He could just sit here and he could be pro-Kamala, say, oh, yeah, we need moderated content and we need to do away with misinformation. And he would be on Easy Street. Instead, he's actually, I think he unveiled the Twitter files. I think he looked and said, wow, it's as bad as everyone has said. This is not the easiest path for him. And I think that's an important facet to take into account while we're looking at judging people by their decisions and actions. Because I can't judge him by his accent. Is it South African? Is it Swedish? I don't know.
It's changed.
This is not, though, Hillary Clinton, it's not unique to her. I want to be very clear. They try and say that conservatives, that Republicans are banning books. No, they're banning pornography in schools with children. The left wants to ban speech consistently, and it's the only platform. You can disagree with me. Comment below. I will make this statement in the affirmative. The left is the only political wing in the United States that is systematically pushing for the elimination of viewpoints they don't like online.
I think we need to push back on this. There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech, and especially around our democracy.
Yes, there is.
If people go to only one source, and the source they go to is sick, and has an agenda, and they're putting out disinformation, our First Amendment stands as a major block to the ability to be able to just, hammer it out of existence.
We're going to have to figure out how we rein in our media environment so that you can't just spew disinformation and misinformation. It's one thing to have differing opinions, but it's another thing entirely to just say things that are false.
Okay.
She would know a lot about that, by the way.
Yes. Now, to be clear, we've talked about this for a very long time. Section 230, it also, it falls under this umbrella too, safe harbor laws. We've had my half-Asian lawyer come on and talk about this. Basically, it means that platforms are supposed to be neutral, whether it's YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, Meta, right? They're basically treated like carriers. For example, if you're on Verizon and you say something offensive, you say something that the government doesn't like or is deemed too offensive, they can't simply shut down your service, right? This is very different from a publisher like New York Times or like the Wall Street Journal, where they're held liable for the kind of content that they put out. They are actually publishers, not platforms, meaning they have editorial control. Section 230 is supposed to require that platforms be neutral. Unfortunately, that's not how it actually exists in practice. So they're allowed to moderate based on only, obscene, lewd, lascivious, filthy, excessively violent, harassing, or the problem here is, or otherwise objectionable content.
That's it. That's the one.
And that's the problem. The left uses that as a very, very broad definition to mean anything anti-trans, anti-L. So let me just walk you along the path. Section 230, they're supposed to be politically neutral, right? They're supposed to allow content, no matter how offensive, of all viewpoints, as long as it is not effectively criminal. Just like Verizon, just like AT&T, Vonage, if you're still using them, Cricket for the... Sorry. I guess they're not a carrier. They're just a phone.
Really quickly, CNN is doing the fact check right now. They're literally going over the points that we're going to be fact checking the fact checkers with later. They have Daniel Dale on. We don't need to go to it. I just wanted to show you guys, like, in real time.
We're going to be fact checking the fact checkers on
We're going to get them.
All right.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
And all the references are publicly available. So let me give you an example. All right. What is legal? What is political speech? Okay. You're not allowed to say, hey, I want to drag gays from behind a truck. You shouldn't be. That's encouraged. Or you're not allowed to say, let's go harm this gay person. That's a crime, right? That's a violent crime. Okay. But then the left says, well, hold on a second. We're going to broadly apply that to anti-LGBTQ. So now, if you say, well, I don't believe two men should get married, that's hate speech. Or if you say, actually, we're at the point, I believe that biological sex is an actual thing, and they frame that as anti-LGBTQ, that is otherwise objectionable, and it is disallowed political speech online because the left wants to broaden those terms where everything is hate speech. If you say the pay gap is a myth, they've qualified that as hate speech. So Section 230 does need to be framed in. They want it to be framed out. Effectively, that's the description. We want them to be beholden to the same rules they signed on to. Pick a lane. Are you a publisher or are you a platform? The left says, no. We are going to give them the benefits of being a platform while allowing them to be a publisher. Do you understand the difference? Does that explain it? Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And let me give you some more examples, because you're saying, well, I don't know, maybe they are not actually banning people for saying the pay gap is a myth. We've seen these from the Twitter files and also experienced it, yours truly, been banned quite a bit. The Biden-Harris administration specifically targeted topics like the COVID lab leak theory. People were removed, banned from platforms for espousing that. And it seems now that it's close to at least just as likely as the Wuhan wet market. You were banned if you questioned the efficacy of lockdowns or mask mandates, vaccines, if you questioned the legitimacy of the 2020 election, even, by the way, calling them out, for example, voter rolls that were in error or mass mail-in voting that was inefficient or, for example, ballot harvesting, things that have been recognized, by the way, legally, court cases that have been won and laws have been changed as the result of this kind of interference, or if you want to call it voting anomalies. Those were bannable offenses on social media because of the Biden-Harris administration. Are you getting the picture? Zuckerberg said this was the case. He said that he regretted censoring what should have been protected speech because of the pressure from this administration. Now you have someone who is vying for a spot in this administration saying, we need to ban more people.
Yeah.
Vote for us.
Total control.
Yes. Vote for us. We will ban more people. Right here. Just so you know, we've been targeted so many times. I mean, we've lost millions upon millions of dollars in revenue. The Vox Adpocalypse was one, right, where we were completely demonetized. You had senators saying that this was hate speech. YouTube said it wasn't, so they created a new law basically to allow that. We were banned from Facebook multiple times, right? And we actually found in the Gizmodo article, it was baked into their actual code. All references available at louderwithcrowder.com. We were removed for actually quoting the CDC here on this show, where Gerald, we brought up the overlay. This is why we were not here for the midterm elections.
Yeah.
More children die from the standard flu every year than COVID. We did not say COVID was not a thing. We did not say that older people are not at greater risk for COVID or the immune compromised. We acknowledged all those things and said, but it is interesting that the flu is deadlier for children, which is now okay because it's commonly accepted.
Well, just to be clear, 4 out of the last 10 years, and it was the Kerry Lake thing that got us banned for the midterms.
Oh, that's
wasn't
right.
me. I listen. I don't. That was not me.
No, it was both of them, because when you have the 2 strikes, you can't stream back then. Now they changed it to 1 strike.
Because
you can't
it ended
stream.
up doing longer.
It was the double. It was the double. So it's still your fault. Hey, if you're still watching this, I appreciate it. And let's just shoot straight. Obviously, you have a lot of time on your hands. You're not doing anything today. So comment below. It helps with the YouTube algorithms from the overlords, or just watch one of these other. If you want to kill some more time, watch this video here. It's going to be very similar. And shoot, I rolled over my headphone cord. It doesn't just click. Is that broken?